notice a stark difference in not just the foliage color, but the foliage amount, because I just did a huge, huge major trim. Now, some of these leaves, like this one right here, this one was actually all yellow. It's starting to come back green. And what's happening is some of the dead parts of the plant is using resources and energy trying to bring life back in to those parts of the plant. So now we see with those two lines, absolutely no leaves on them. Well, with the bottom line, you get right there and there's some leaves. But with that top line, you don't get leaves, so you get right here. And that's because I trimmed all of this. This is a lot of leaves that these plants were literally dedicating resources to try to keep alive. And most of that stuff is dead. Look at that. So there's really no need for me to actually hold on to those. And see, we got a stem right here, or a line right here with, excuse me, with absolutely no leaves on it whatsoever. Now, some leaves that are starting to make their comeback, I left them alone. But see, now something like this, what I did was I wiggled the stem that the leaf is on. If it came off, I pulled it off. If it didn't, then that means we've got enough life in this stem for this leaf to actually start making a comeback. And as you can see, it is not completely yellow. Some leaves like this are starting to come back. And this is partially due to all those nitrites and nitrates and the ammonia, because the plants are taking in all three, but it's really the nitrites that are giving the most nutrition to this plant. Now, if we look inside here, remember these two experiments up at the front? Well, they are not looking the greatest, but they are not looking the worst either. This one right here, had I noticed, it's actually broken. And somehow, some way, it's still surviving. But if you look on the leaves themselves, you'll see a lot of darkening. Like that leaf right there is just completely... Did the snail shell weigh that down? I don't know. But that leaf right there is completely hung over. And then we've got one leaf right here that is also turning. And I've got one dead leaf back there that I think I can get that out from reaching in from the top. I don't think I even have to, yeah, how about that? Let's get that out of there. But now what I'm realizing is I need some non-pest snails in here. Because what they're going to do is they're going to start cleaning up all those leaves that are turning. And if you remember, there was this one poor line that was completely almost dead. Well, I don't think, if you look in here, it's kind of braided. I kind of braided these three lines together to keep them together. And this was what was hanging out on the top up here. I moved it because that's where I was originally putting all those leaves until it overwhelmed the whole top of the tank. But that third line does not look like it is coming back at all. So I'm going to allow it to take its course, because what's going to happen is it's going to most likely die inside the tank, and that will provide more nutrition for the living plants. And then once I get some snails up in here, they'll start eating and munching on any of the vegetation that is not at its healthiest. Now, if anybody knows about that hidden video, you know, I still have yet to do something with that cup. We will, excuse me, with the rings in the cup from those dream catchers. But we will be doing something with these. I just can't believe they did not float at all. That really hurt my feelings. As you can see, baby boy is happy, doing his thing, exploring his kingdom, laying down the law. Say hi, baby boy. Yeah. And so far the tank is doing well. I really can't complain about it. Audrey II has seen better days. But if we look at this earth that Audrey II was originally in, and just look at how that just breaks right up. Soil should not be this dry. Like we really failed this plant. You know, at one point it was getting way too much attention because everybody, and I mean everybody, was watering it. And you know, pathos, I mean, the more you water it, the more it just keeps going. And that's how we got to where we're at so far with the pathos plant. But so much of it was just dying and being neglected. So hopefully with this big pruning, we will see some type of revitalization in the plant. All those brown leaves, yellow leaves, and just not right looking leaves are all gone. Up. Oh, you thought you was gonna sneak in and no, you got to go. Yeah, you got to go. So yeah, all those leaves are going to be simply tossed away, put into the compost. Hopefully they don't start growing out the compost. And I mean, already there has obviously been growth because I mean it's only been what 2 or 3 weeks, and already I've just put up a new hook, and that's what really made me start doing the trimming. When I put that hook up, I noticed some dead leaves on this line. So after I pulled them off, I mean I just might as well just keep going around. And next thing I knew, I was trimming all of Audrey II. So we're not looking bad. Well, excuse me, we're not looking the best. But we've still got a chance with Audrey. We're gonna make sure that she gets the best chance possible. You know, as I had stated before, there are some parts of the plant that came back in contact with the ground and started to root themselves. There's one root right there. There's another root right there. There was another root. I don't know where it is now, but yeah. Shoot, in fact, if you look in here, there's a root right there that just started coming out. There's another root right there. That one. And any parts of the plant that ends up coming back in contact with the ground will start to re-root itself. So we are going to, like I said, get some snails so that the pathos that's in the tank will be attended to. I won't have to go in there and start trimming stuff because this is a tall tank, and I honestly, that's my entire arm span. Like, it is so difficult for me to actually reach down to the bottom of that tank. And my bad, baby boy, my bad. Relax. I didn't mean to bump your house. Kids. Anyway, this is what November 12th. Yeah. So we'll see what happens in about another month.